Hi, welcome to EDUC 325 Children's Literature. I'm the instructor, Andy Steck, and I'm going to share information about the course. So this is the video that covers the overall part of our learning system, our new management learning system, which is called D2L Brightspace. We're moving away as a university from Blackboard, and we have now bought this learning management system, which a lot of the professors and a lot of people who have reviewed it have found it to be better than Blackboard. We'll see how that goes along the way, but I'm an early adopter, so you will be working in this Brightspace now with me. Now, some of you may still have professors who are working on Blackboard, so you may be in that learning system, and then you may have people who are either in Classic, Blackboard, or Ultra, and maybe then you have people like me who you'll be working with in Brightspace. It's pretty similar to Blackboard. It shouldn't be too difficult depending on what you know and what you've experienced in Blackboard. I'm going to kind of walk you through it so that you have an overall picture of the course and how you'll be working in it these 8 weeks. This is a very intense 8 weeks. There's a lot of work. There's not only weekly activities, there are major assignments, and you'll be meeting with a group of people to discuss books 6 weeks out of the 8 weeks, really 7 weeks out of the 8 weeks. So it is very intense. You can do it though. My students previously have been able to do it, so you'll be able to do it as well. You just have to set your mind to it though, and make sure you don't fall behind, because once you fall behind, it's hard to catch up in an 8-week session course. Anyways, to find this, you go to the portal and you click on the click links here, all right? And I have already clicked on the quick links, and you look for D2L Brightspace, and you click on that, and then that will take you to the page that has your courses on it. Now, you may only have one course on this page. It may only be mine, but you may have another professor who is also what we call an early adopter, who is also working in Brightspace. Now, I know it's going to be new. I know we have to give each other grace in regards to making mistakes, things not working the way they should be. So please, please, please don't hold it against me. I'll do my best. I'll respond to you. I'll try to fix it as quickly as possible. I've been working on this class for the last 3 days, so I'm hoping it does show you that it's not difficult to navigate. You should not have problems in finding what you need to do, but you do need to listen to this video. And again, I'm hoping it's not too long, but it is going to be a little bit more lengthy than usual. So when you're on this page and you're going to click onto the course that's yours, and this one is here, the CRN 2208 is your course. So if I click on that, it takes me to this first page here. And there's some information about me, my contact information. There's some upcoming event information here. It's usually the assignments that are due and the weekly activities that are due. If I have an announcement, I'll post it to here. I'm going to take you from here, this page here, which is to the content. If you notice where I got that from, this menu, horizontal menu here, I'll talk to you about some of the things there. But what's most important is the content each week, because you're going to click on that, and it's going to bring you to this menu on the side here, the table of contents. That lists some course resources, some weekly modules, major assignments, lesson plans and objectives, and some anti-racism resources. I'm going to walk you through some of this so that you have a better handle on what to expect from our course. So let me start with the course resources, because there are things in here that I want you to be aware of. There's a welcome letter. The syllabus is in here. The course schedule, the weekly course schedule is in here. If you click on that, you will see, and I'll do that for you right now. And you'll see the topics. You'll see the major assignments that are due. And then you'll see what books we're reading in our literacy circle. You'll learn more about the literacy circle when you view the video for week 1 in week 1, and I'll point that out to you when we get to that point. I'm going to go back to, not to that home page, sorry. I'll go back to here. And then if you get lost, go back to content. Keep looking at that menu at the very top there. And here we are again. We were just on the course schedule. Excuse me. This is the book list for the literacy circles. I'll talk more about that in week 1. Here's some information from Wilson Library and our wonderful librarians. If you need some assistance along the way, check this resource out. This is University Staff to Know 2024. If you need some tech support, where to go at our university for that. Our Educational Studies Program Goals and Learning Outcomes, and the Educational Studies Handbook. These are the resources for this course. You probably won't go here very often unless you want to look at the syllabus or you want the course schedule. You will need to go here to find your list of books for your literacy circle. I'm going to also move down this table of contents. Here are some information about me as the instructor. There's more in the back of the course resources here. Oh, I'm sorry, it's not there. That is where it is. All right, and then I'm going to move to weekly modules. And this is where you'll find the work each week under the weekly modules. So I'm going to click on I'll click on week 1 in a minute. I'm going to share all the major assignments are in here. And I'll show you another spot where they're at. These are the major assignments that are due on a weekly basis. So you need to check that. But I'll also show you in week 1 where those are at. So you'll have to be reminded for that. This folder here, lesson plans and objectives. You will be using this the first week and other weeks of the session, so beware of that. And last but not least are some anti-racism resources that I have collected along the way that you're more than welcome to take and use. I'm going to go back to weekly modules. And I'm just going to take you to week 1 so you see where to go. And here is week 1. And this is usually the description. I put a lot in this week, and not every week will be like that, but I did this week. And if you click on the little blue link, the links are blue, it will take you to what will be the drop boxes each week. And this is where you'll enter your information. You'll read through this, complete the activities as explained in this list here, and then you will post them in this drop box here on a weekly basis. Now, I talked about assignments. Again, if you need to go to see the major assignments, you know they're in the table of contents, but they're also here under the assignment tabs. And you can click on here and you'll see those same assignments plus our week 1, because each week will be an assignment. Each week is worth 50 points, and you'll need to complete the activities to show that you've participated in class and have actually attended the class online, which isn't actually physically coming to a synchronous class, but you will be meeting with a small group of students from the class each week for your literacy circle. If we have discussions, you can find them here. If we have any quizzes, which we won't have, you'll find them there. And then you have grade books. Your grades will be here. If you want to see how you're progressing in the class, that is here. Here's the class list of students, and these are some course tools. Here are announcements, calendar, and then there are groups. And you'll be using the groups tool in the very first class. I'm trying to think of everything I need to share with you. I'm going to go back to content, so watch how I do that, and that brings you back to your table of contents, and it takes you back to the weekly modules. It will take you back to your major assignments, lesson plans, and again, your anti-racism resources. I think that's it for the course, pretty much. So every week when you come on, you will click on, and you'll come to that main page, and you'll click content here in this horizontal menu. You'll click on that, and that will bring you to this page, and then you just click on weekly modules, and you'll find it will say week 2, week 3, week 4. They're not here now, they're hidden, but once they appear, then you'll be able to work on them. Now let me explain something. The weeks start on Friday at 11:59. You are able to look at this course now because it is Friday at past 11:59, and you have a chance to work on this for 9 days. Excuse me again. So you'll work from Friday, you'll have that whole weekend, you'll have the whole next week, and then you'll have the following weekend. Everything is due on Sunday at 11:59. Now that means week 2 will overlap week 1. Week 2 will start on a Friday, but you don't have to have week 1 finished. Just know you'll see week 2 when you click on week 1, and you know week 2 is ready to start as soon as you're done with week 1. If you're all done with week 1 before that second weekend, you're more than welcome to start week 2. And I would advise that would be a really great way to work in this class, is to try to complete the week within 8 days, 7 days rather than 9 days, because that way you will have extra time every week. In case you do get behind 1 week, you'll have a couple extra days. Because you do have to remember, you have activities each week, you have a literacy group each week to read, you have reading a book, and you will also have a major assignment each week, starting week 2. So I'm going to take you from here. I think I've explained everything I need to explain. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to ask me, ask your literacy group. I will be attending literacy group sessions as well. I'm going to minimize this for a second and bring up the schedule. Now remember, you found this schedule in the course resources if you do need to look at it, but I want to scroll through and share that. Okay, so this course is designed to introduce students to children's literature with an emphasis on developing aesthetic and critical response to literature, experiencing and appreciating the breadth of genres and a variety of authors and illustrations. And there will be creative ways to use literature with children that will be investigated, and students will begin to use children's literature as a teacher in elementary and middle school classroom. This is the required textbook. It is called Literature and the Child. It's the 9th edition, but if you want to use the 8th edition, you certainly can, but you will be using the book along the way. The first week I have already copied the first chapter so that you don't have to panic if you don't have the book when you start working. You at least will have the first chapter, but please do look to purchase that book or to obtain it some way. You may read their learning outcomes along the way. I'm going to specify those along the way as I build out the course, and that will happen along the way. Once you know your points, you're going to know what you'll be able to divide the total points of the course into your points at the end of the course, and you'll be able to get have a percentage grade, which will then be converted to a letter grade. And these are the assignments at a glance, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that. I do have a late work policy. If you do have get behind, you need to let me know, and we need to figure out a way for you to catch up. If you need accommodations, there's you can contact the accessibility services. They will help you figure that out, and I will honor any accommodations you have. If you feel there's an injustice or you've had an incident of social injustice or discrimination, here is the social justice form that you can click on that link. This is the University Diversity Statement. This is our 8-week course disclaimer. This is an intense and very rigorous 8 weeks. It's a very tough time. You have to know if you get through it and you're successful, it's great. You're just one step ahead. But do know that it's not half the work, because it's not the 17-week session or the 16-week session. It's not. It is all the work compacted into 8 weeks. There's attendance policy. The attendance is what the work you do online. Please, please, please complete the work each week, because that is what I use for attendance, and that's what you'll get for a participation grade, and you do need to do that as well. Please don't plagiarize. You're welcome to use AI. I have no worries about that. If you think that will help you out, go right ahead. If I have any questions about your work, I will definitely talk to you about it. But if you're using somebody else's ideas, make sure you give them credit. That's all we ask you to do. Here's the mission. If you want to read the mission, if you haven't seen that already, of LaFetra College, here's the vision and the goals. These are the goals for our university. I hope you've seen those already in other classes. And we have core dispositions, My favorite one is social emotional learning. You'll see some of that in the work here in this course. And if you take me for history, culture, and society, you'll see that we do social emotional learning there as well. Assignments. The virtual discussion, that's actually your literacy circle and what you'll be doing in the literacy circle. You do have to make a point of meeting with your others in that to discuss the book. If you're not in those sessions, you won't receive credit. So you do need to be there and be a part of that group. So make sure you do read the books and you are there for the discussions. There's a reader response blog that I talk about in the very first session, so I'm going to let that go. But after each book is discussed, you will blog about the books in 4 parts. Here are the 4 parts. It's also under the major assignments in the table of contents or in that menu that's horizontal across the top. Click on assignment. You'll see the reader's response blog there and all of the information, the description for that assignment. You're going to create a book trailer. Have you ever heard of a movie trailer? Well, you're actually going to create a book trailer and a QR code for your book trailer. That information is here. It will show you how to do that. The QR code would actually go into a book, and when you click, and when somebody's reading, looking at a book, a possible book to read, they might click on the QR code to see the book trailer that has been identified for that book. So it kind of gives them a better idea of whether they'd be interested in the book other than trying to read the jacket or any of the thing on the back cover, any of the information on the back cover. You're going to create a family literacy backpack, and you're going to actually give it to a student. And if you look under that assignment, you'll see that, and it will tell you exactly what you need to do. That's going to be due week 5. And you need to know that you have to give it to the student probably by week 3. So you're going to need to be doing some of this work prior to you giving that to an actual student, actual family. And we'll talk a little bit more about that when that comes due. I talked about artificial information and intelligence. Artificial intelligence, AI, and teachers are using it more and more to develop instruction for their classrooms. So I'm going to suggest that you create some instruction for a particular grade using AI, and that's one of the assignments here. I'm missing one of the assignments, so I'm not sure why it's not here. My apologies. I just noticed that now. Let me scroll up and see if I just skipped it. I actually lost it along the way. There is one more assignment. It is a virtual library. So when you go to the major assignments, look for the virtual library. That's due, I think, week 7. And I'm sorry that's not on here, and I'm not quite sure it was before, but I lost it. But I can make that change and fix that as well. I will do that. Here's some additional information about me if you want to know more about me. I have been in education for almost 50 years. I've been an elementary school teacher. I've been an elementary school principal, and now I am a professor. I am a full professor. So I've been promoted from assistant to associate to full professor. I'm very excited. I have some research interests that include social emotional learning, keeping LGBTQ plus students safe in school, technology in the classroom, online learning, and math efficacy. I started 3 charter schools in Buffalo, New York, and I continue to work with one of them until this is my last year. I have a team of teachers who will be taking over for me, and I'm truly excited for that. I don't know if I'm so excited about being my last year to do that, but I'll continue being a professor as I do now. And I think that takes care of the syllabus. If you have any questions about this whatsoever, I know I'm scrolling quickly here, please let me know. I'm going to close this out. I'm going to go back to the course. I just want to show you a couple of things again, just to make sure that you see them here. The assignments is an important tab, and that's where you're going to find the major assignments. We talked about the reader response blog. We talked about the family literacy backpack, the book trailer, the virtual library. That is what I'm talking about. And then I did not share with you, here's the artificial intelligence tools for teachers. The last thing is your final exam, which is an e-portfolio. You're going to create an e-portfolio. If you have one already, you're more than welcome to create a new page for children's literature on it. If you don't, then you'll have to. The university supports Digication. I can help you with that, and there's some information in that. But you're actually going to put all of your major assignments in there. You're going to reflect on those, and then you're also going to add some additional resources you would use as a teacher using children's literature in the classroom. And then you're going to create a screencast. You're going to create a short 2-minute screencast talking a little bit about what you gained from this class. What was where were you the most successful in the class, and maybe what assignment? What was the most challenging for you, which I know will be getting the work completed, but I mean, which assignment was maybe more challenging than the others, and which one best represents you? What best represents you as a teacher in the work that you did in this class? That would be the 3 questions you're going to answer in that screencast then, but you'll hear more about this as the session goes on. I'm trying to think if I missed anything. Again, when you click into the course, click content. That takes you to this page here, which then you can figure where you're going from there. Again, go to the weekly modules. You click on that. Week 1 will show up. It already does show up, and you will click on that, and here it is. Once you're there, you're in the description for week 1. You need to click on the assignment for week 1, which is where you will add all of your work, and that's the blue. Almost all the links are blue in color. Okay, I think I've spent enough time with that. If you do have questions, like I said, please don't hesitate to reach out. Talk to your Literacy Circle people when you meet them, the members of your Literacy Circle. You can also always email me as well. I do have office hours on campus on Wednesday, usually in the afternoon, but I would just email me ahead of time to make sure I'm there and I'm not at a meeting or doing something other than that. If I don't know somebody's coming, I may not be in my office, so just double check. Again, this is a online asynchronous class, except for when you're meeting with your group. You won't be meeting with the whole class, but just with your literacy group. Okay. I am going to end, and I wish you much success in this course.